Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Ayala coming live from Thanksgiving break inside of his dining room. And this is your final vlog for the American Revolution, A Path to Victory. Please make sure, as always, that you're writing down your notes, because give you a hint, help you on your test. And to make sure that you answer the comments or the vlog question down in the doobly-doo at the end of this video. Yes. This time, it is a review question, so get those notes out and be ready. Anyway, yes, I am wearing a hat because it is Thanksgiving vacation, and I thought it would fit us pretty well. Anyway, this is the Path to Victory Mr. Ayala presentation. So, we're going to start off with the war in the South. So, the British are shifting their strategy from trying to take over New England and the colonies over there, trying to cut off the head of the snake, to the southern colonies because there's more loyalists there. They're also hoping to allow the slaves will hopefully join the British, which they don't. And they hope that they can use their southern ports to move troops to and from their main bases in the Caribbean, places like Jamaica, the Bahamas, all those other Caribbean islands that the English actually owned at that time. Britain starts winning victories at Savannah, Georgia, Charlestown, South Carolina. So what happens is they hire Washington gets a brand new general for the South, and his name is Horatio Gates, but he was there to fight General Lord Cornwallis, who is that fabulous looking gentleman we see in the bottom corner. We have Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, as we talked about last week. He had 20 men and boys. He fought in the South, and he used guerrilla tactics to harass the British. So he was the guy who would have one guy in a tree or hiding behind a bush to take a pop shot at the British. They all start chasing around through the swamp. Next thing they know, they disappear. So they call him the Swamp Fox. And it was freaking awesome how fast and how much trouble him and his 20 men and boys made for the British in the South. In 1780, Gates is removed by Congress because he flees from battle. He literally freaks out, hops on his horse, and runs all the way to Canada to get from South Carolina to get away from from the battles. Kind of a bit of a wuss, if you'd ask me. Makes sense why he was kicked out. The tide turns, 1780, the Battle of King Mountains. Americans win. Nathaniel Greene, this gentleman down in the right-hand corner, or left-hand, deciding on your screen, sorry, was replaced General Gates. He was actually a Quaker, but he was kicked out of the religion because he was not a pacifist. He did not believe that people should not fight wars. He believed you should stand up and fight for what you actually believe in. So they gave him the nickname, the Fighting Quaker. Just imagine your guy in your oatmeal box with a musket and a blue coat. That's how I remembered it. And because of all the tides starting to turn, all the battles, all the money, and how the American colonies are like, yeah, we're going to be our own country now, opposition starts to begin to grow in Britain. The Prime Minister knows the battle is lost, knows that they've lost the American colonies. France and Spain are all over the world attacking their ships. You got John Paul Jones with the Serapis running around like being a pirate. And you got Washington and the colonists up and down in North America rampaging and destroying British governors' houses, tar and feathering loyalists, taxmen, all these things. So what happens is we get to the last major battle called the Battle of Yorktown. And what happens at this battle is Cornwallis is stuck on this port. And he knows he's got to get out. He's got Washington and his huge army on one end, and you got the French fleet blocking the British to get, not allowing them to get in and relieve Cornwallis. So Cornwallis has more or less two things. He can sit there and be destroyed by the French fleet and the American army, or he can actually go, and surrender, give up his troops, and save his men. Cornwallis, he does the gentlemanly thing, and he gives up his men. It's much better to surrender when you know you lost than have all those men die for no reason. And this was the last major battle of the American Revolution, and it was said that when this battle ended, that someone in Parliament stated, we have lost the American colonies. And so that's more or less the end of the American Revolution War. Then we get to the Treaty of Paris of 1783, ends our American Revolution. The U.S. achieves peace and achieves independence. Britain, France, Spain, and the new United States of America all become peaceful. Our borders are from the Hudson River in the north, where Maine would show up, to the Great Lakes in the northwest, to the Mississippi on the west side, Spanish Florida on the south, and the Atlantic Ocean on the right. So we're much smaller than we are now, but it's a start. So, as always, please make sure that you wrote all these notes, because I'll give you a heads up. A lot of this will be on the test. So, this is actually a review from earlier in this chapter, just because I want to see how much you remember, and just make sure that you got your notes, because if you don't, you may want to go back and look this stuff up. So, how did Americans protest the Stamp Act, the Intolerable Acts, etc.? Please be specific. Tell me what they actually did. And as always, don't forget to be awesome.